Well, hello. It is I, your self-appointed Queen of Fall. Since it is almost September, the time of me filming this, that can mean only one thing for us pumpkin freaks. It's fall, baby! And I know some of you are gonna be like, it's not fall yet, yada yada yada, but listen, this is my channel and I do what I want. Now, I was going to do a video that was going to include my fall outfit inspirations. I was gonna put together some outfits that I really wanna wear this year, and I was also gonna do a little mini thrift haul. However, I think that that's a little bit too much to cram into one video. We gotta pace ourselves, it's not even September yet. To start with, this week we will simply go through my fall outfit and fashion inspirations on Pinterest, similar to the video that I did earlier this year where I went through my 2024 inspirations, but because fall is my favorite time of year, I will specifically focus on that. And then after that, I can show you guys a few of the things that I've picked up, so like a mini thrift haul. And then next week we will get into fall outfits that I'm excited to wear, and maybe even challenge myself to style some stuff that I've neglected that I want to hold on to, that I did not clean out in my clean out video.
Crazy.
But before we get too carried away, I would like to take a moment to introduce this week's sponsor, Simple Retro. This video is kindly being sponsored by Simple Retro, and if you haven't heard of them yet, they are a fashion brand that blends timeless, vintage-inspired designs with modern sensibilities. Simple Retro offers a range of pieces from multiple different vintage-inspired styles. If you're into styles that have a bit of a nostalgic feel, whether you're into 50s classic silhouettes or even cottagecore, but you still want to work with today's styles and have some flexibility, you might find something that you like. They of course sent me some pieces to play with. First of all, we have this scarlet red midi knit dress, which has this beautiful off-the-shoulder neckline, but also straps to keep the dress up. It also has these fabric rose details, which are actually pinned on, so you can take them off and mix and match it with other things as well. And it also has this thin matching scarf, which you can wear in a choker style or tie it however you see fit. The dress is long, it's stretchy, and it's very comfortable. They also sent me this black knit midi dress, which has contrasting white lace details around the neckline, which I really enjoy. I really like this because the color palette and the details kind of have a goth flair, but the silhouette is very classic. And then finally, I was sent this matching green outfit. This lime green sweater is very soft, but it's also pretty thin, so it's perfect for transitional weather. And then it's paired with this faux wrap satin pencil skirt with a slight slit in the leg. And of course, you can mix and match with these pieces with your own wardrobe as well. One thing that I appreciate about Simple Retro is their focus on creating clothing that feels classic and timeless. It's nice to have pieces in your wardrobe that don't just follow the ever-changing micro trends, but instead offer more simple classics to build an outfit off of. If you're interested in checking Simple Retro out, you can use my code at checkout for a discount on your order. No pressure, obviously, but it's there if you want to check them out and see what they have to offer. Thanks again to Simple Retro for sponsoring today's video and helping me to pay my bills. Now let's get back to today's video. Now, when it comes to Pinterest boards, I'm not one of those people that likes to separate the different categories within my fashion pinspiration. I've had the same fashion pinspiration board for like 10 years and I've just been adding to it. So I have about 2.7 thousand pins, and every year I just add to it, and it's kind of cool because I get to see my style evolution over time. Now, if you did catch the video from earlier this year, a lot of this stuff might be a little bit familiar, but since we're focusing on colder weather rather than just in general, I will be focusing on more layered outfits. That being said, one of the things that is immediately noticeable when looking at my Pinterest board is the use of corsets, which is pretty predictable for me since I am a run fair fantasy girly. One person that I've noticed a lot on my Pinterest board lately is Kelsey. What I really like about her style is she has that mix of like dark cottagecore. There's like a little bit of goth, but it's kind of balanced with lots of rustic colors like oranges and browns mixed in as well, which I really like. As I've said before, I've been drawn more towards whimsical goth and gothic styles, but I don't like to go full goth, but I like to implement certain elements into my more cottagecore, whimsy, fairy-esque vibe. There's also a similar creator if I can find her. I'll put her up on the screen as well as some examples, and her style is very similar to Kelsey. So there's a good mixture of both of them on my Pinterest board. And while I've been thrifting, I've been on the lookout for things with with bell sleeves, but specifically things that are vintage that have a higher quality fabric and something with interesting texture. So even if it's black or a very dark color, I've been looking for things with lots of texture. I've also taken note of what looks good on me. So one thing that I've noticed is I either look good in square necklines or V-neck, not so much in anything that is round. So I've been pinning a lot of blouses that have a deep V or that have a square neckline, and I really love it when they have like a lacy detail on the neck as well, especially when it's paired with bell sleeves or dramatic looking sleeves or lantern sleeves. These kind of have a lantern sleeve. Just those really romantic details that make things look more whimsical rather than contemporary or modern, but not so much that it looks costumey, if that makes sense. And that's where high quality fabric comes in, because if it's cheap looking fabric or cheap feeling fabric, it just adds to the costumey, I got it at Spirit of Halloween vibes. Another creator that I've really been loving that is more on the like hippie, whimsigoth, fairycore side of things is, I think her name is Ditzy Floral on Instagram. She wears a lot of flowy skirts, chain belts, and things with bell sleeves, and she also has ginger hair. That's another thing. A lot of the girls that I pin also have ginger hair, which I guess helps because then you know that the hair is gonna go with the fit. So when I emulate or I draw inspiration from these creators, I like to pick and choose like little bits here and there. And when you find a plethora of different influences, especially if they have differences in their style, it really helps you to amalgamate them together into a cohesive but unique, or at least slightly different, like a variant of that style. So though I've been really inspired by Kelsey lately and Ditzy Floral, I feel like I'm not becoming a clone of either of them. I'm my own person. Another thing that I have been loving lately, and you guys have seen this, is I love like an open knit crochet cardigan. The one that I've been wearing a lot lately, I got at an antique fair. It was at a vintage booth, and every time I wear it, you guys ask me where I got it, and I've been wanting more and more colors because I've just been loving them. I did pin this vest recently. It's on Etsy, and I don't have the money to shell out $75 for a sweater vest, but I'm definitely inspired by it, and it's kind of giving me a trajectory for thrifting and kind of putting in my mind like what to look for. And even though thicker crochet things can be a sensory nightmare, I have been very much inspired by really cool, unique crochet items. I would probably choose a thinner fabric, a thinner yarn myself, much like that crochet cardigan that I was just talking about. It's a much thinner yarn or thread than like the chunkier crochet stuff. So that's something that is inspiring me, and maybe I'll learn to crochet, but I have so many hobbies, let's be honest. I've also been really loving dusters and kimonos, especially when they have velvet details and flowy sleeves. This is something that is more of a transitional piece that will be really good, especially where I live, where the weather is hot and stays hot. It's a little bit of a lighter alternative to a jacket, and of course it adds to that whimsical fairy queen vibe. I found one in the robes section of the thrift store, so that's somewhere that I've been looking a lot lately. And because I love like the tapestry style corset, I'm also going to be looking a lot in the linens in the thrift stores because I really want to make another corset. The first one that I made I think earlier this year or last year, I can't remember, but it's a little bit more of a spring summer vibe, and I really want to make something that's really autumnal, or at least can be worn in the autumn. So something with more of a darker background. And I love the Unicorn Defends Himself Selkie dress, which I never think I'm gonna be able to get. And I just love that painting in general. So I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm gonna be on the hunt for some tapestry fabric, whether it's like an actual tapestry or like a placemat or something like that. I'm gonna be looking for like a statement panel to add to a corset, even if like the rest of the fabric comes from a different source, if that makes sense. Of course, I still absolutely love my Victorian hand belt, which I have been pairing with absolutely everything. I love my pointy Victorian black boots, which I will be wearing with everything, and I have been. I know I said in a previous video that I'm wearing less trousers and more skirts, but I do want to try to challenge myself to get back into wearing some trousers and dress it down this autumn when it's a little less hot. Right now, skirts are a little bit more practical, but like I said, I'm gonna stick to more basic colors and try to be more extravagant on top and with my layers. sweaters. And then as far as trousers go, I'm still loving my velvet flares. I really love the fit of pants that are a bit more tight on the hip and then come away from the leg. Now, yes, velvet is a pain in the arse when you have animals, and my animals shed like nobody's business, but I'm making it work. You know, we do what we can for our aesthetic. And I find that these pants are really flattering to pair with sweaters, specifically looser fit sweaters that end at the hip. Now, I do still wear cropped with these tighter stretchy pants as well, but I really love the look of the sweaters that end at the hip as well, and maybe even a little, like, it still looks good when it's like a longer one as well. And then I also like to wear those longer sweaters with tennis skirts. I mentioned that in a previous video. It's just really cute, and I feel like an Animal Crossing character. Speaking of Animal Crossing character, I feel like a freaking Animal Crossing character in this sweater, and literally every time I wear it on here, you guys ask me where I got it. I got it from Knock Thrice. I actually just got another Knock Thrice sweater, which I will show you guys when we get into the haul portion, but absolutely love this sweater. So much detail on it, and yes, I did actually remake this in Animal Crossing in the custom design section. I haven't touched Animal Crossing in months, but if anyone wants to wear this in Animal Crossing because you still wear it because you still play it, let me know and I can get you the code so you can wear it on your character. And then once we get into the colder months, which is a little less than where I live, doesn't get that cold, but I thrifted a like furry collar and cuff coat last year, and I absolutely love it. It's very Phoebe Buffet, and of course I pinned a furry looking jacket, and it's also very Florence Welch as well. So anything that reminds me of Phoebe Buffet, Florence Welch, I absolutely love, and I will endeavor to emulate that. Now, besides all of the whimsy-gothy parts, of course I have like my really on the nose kitschy fall sweaters, which you guys will get to see next week more of. I'm gonna try to style those. Of course, I'm gonna try to find a way to mix that in and balance it with all of the style elements that I just mentioned, because I am a person who likes to keep all of my aesthetics, like not have them too separate, you know, too separated. So I still feel like the same person, just slightly different. You know what I mean? Cool. I feel like now more than ever, my personal style is more cohesive. I don't have separate season aesthetics as much. I'm just wearing more layers as it is seasonally appropriate. And of course, I'm not wearing pumpkins all year round, but I will still wear burnt orange. I will still wear burgundy and all of that stuff. I used to have a very, like, I would wear lots of pastels and bright colors and like very different aesthetic from one season to the next. And I feel like overall, my aesthetic stays pretty similar, just adding a little bits of like seasonal goodness at different points of the year, if that makes sense. So I'm at this point where I'm pretty happy with I'm very happy with my style, and I'm really excited for this year. I hope we get some actual cool weather. If you don't know, if you're new here, I live in Sacramento and it gets pretty freaking hot in the summer, and lately it has not been cooling down till November, so. And another thing that I've been pinning a lot lately are nails. And as you can see, I don't have my nails done. I never do. It's expensive. I've been seeing a lot of really cool nails on Pinterest, and I've been very inspired by them. Now, again, I can't really afford to get my nails did all the time, but I did venture into the realm of press-ons, and previously I have failed at press-ons, but I did look up some tutorials on how to apply them, and also the fact that if you get thicker, more like acrylic-like nails, they do last a lot longer. So I did get myself a pair of nails, and these are specifically sized for my fingers. So I'm going to be experimenting with the prep and all of that and seeing if I can actually apply nails and have them last and not pop off after like a few hours. If this works out, I'm definitely planning on getting more sets. These are made to where you can like take them off and apply other ones and reuse them. So I do have quite a few saved on my Etsy. You guys might be seeing me with nails again. It's been a couple years since I've got my nails done, and if I can do it myself, and if it can look just as good and I can support some small businesses, it's like 25 to 30 bucks for like a basic pair. And then if you want like more intricate ones, they're a little bit more expensive. Like there's this pair that I really like. They're expensive, but for a good reason, because they're very, I mean, look at them. Before I lose your interest, let me show you guys what I have thrifted lately, because I mean, I didn't get that much. It's not a lot. Don't expect the world. Holy crap, almost fell. I should probably cut and like be professional. Nah, let's not. Okay. First things first, this is actually the very most recent thing I got. I got this really cute purple ruffly top off of Mercari. It was like just a few bucks. $8 after shipping. So I got a really good deal on this. And this is Kim Rogers' signature. And I'm trying to implement more purples in my looks, which I actually really like that on me. So I have a few purple pieces back here. I don't know if you can see. I showed them in my previous video. I'm just hanging this up on my light. I don't know if that's structurally sound, but... And then I also got this off of either Mercari or eBay, I can't remember. So this is a color variant of a top that I really want by JR Knights. I really want the teal one. There was one on Depop that I was going to get and then I slept on it and then it sold. But I found it in gold, so I figured I would give it a shot. I'm not super sold on the color. It looks very formal and it's hard to style it and not make it look super formal, or at least like I'm a businesswoman. But I am going to try to style this because I really love the sleeves and I actually don't mind the ruching. Usually I'm not a ruching person. Because of the way it's shaped, it's very flattering. So I'm gonna try to style this. I don't know if this is gonna be in the next video. Don't expect them all to be there. And then we have another blouse. I got this more recently when I went just like an impromptu thrift trip with my husband. And this is one that I want to style with a corset belt. I figured it'd be really cool. And I'm a person that needs more like rich, vivid colors. So this is perfect. And then when we went to this thrift store, I was specifically looking for maxi and midi skirts that are nice and comfy and easy to style. And this is a really pretty burgundy color, which is one of my faves. And this piece I am very excited for because as we discussed previously, I'm looking for these crocheted tops. And this has like a very slight bell sleeve, kind of not bell, but it's like very flowy. And I love that it's kind of like a bolero shrug because I don't like to show off my arms as much. I'm a beefy arm girl, so. And then in a similar vein, I got this off of Mercari thinking it would be more of that thin knit. It is, it's kind of a medium, somewhere between the chunky and the thin. It also looked more navy online, and this is more of like a, I don't know what, this isn't a cobalt, it's a little bit darker than a cobalt, but it is still very pretty, and I think it'd be a good challenge for me to style this. I think if I styled it, not with this shirt specifically, but just color reference wise, if I did it with purple, it would look very celestial like. So I think that's gonna be the direction that I go with this. And then I think this is the last thing. This is not a thrift find. I just wanted to show you guys the other Knock Thrice sweater that I got. I believe this is the name escapes me, I'll put it in post, but it's literally the same fit as this one. It just has like the scale mail on the arms and the sword and then the bracers and the embroidery. So I'm really excited for this. I haven't really worn it yet, mostly because it's been freaking hot. So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if that will be in the lookbook next week, but we shall see. So anyways, those are my inspirations. That's what I'm excited to wear, to style, and all of that. And I'm going to attempt to bring out some of these elements in our lookbook next week, but I have to work with what I have. That's kind of the idea. You use these things for inspiration, but I'm trying not to go out and buy new pieces wherever possible because I'm actually trying to streamline things a bit more to make things easier for myself because I get overwhelmed easily. That is the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're looking forward to future fall content. Let me give you guys a little bit of a preview real fast before we go. Of course, next week I'm going to be putting together some outfits, however that pans out. That's how it pans out. And then I would also like to do a like Florence Welch video again because it's been like a year since I did my last dressing like Florence Welch for a week. Maybe I'll do another one. I know some of you guys at the mention of that were like, yes, do that. And also I want to do an updated sweater tour video because the last one I have kind of changed up what I have. I've gotten rid of some, gotten new ones, and also the sound in the previous one was hot garbage. Thank you again. Please subscribe, please like. Helps me pay my bills. And thank you again to Simple Retro for sponsoring today's video. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.